Protect your digital footprint. A Cloud Above, Xeden's Digital Rights Exchange by Stephen Fantle, January 27, 2016. Everywhere you look today, you'll find clouds. I'm talking, of course, about computing clouds. Networks of computers serving a wide variety of applications for public and private use. Clouds are simply networks of computers. Clouds, for the most part, follow the business model of charging for only what a client uses in the cloud. Common examples include data storage, or cloud storage and backup, and website hosting from shared servers. Clouds offer a kind of return to the days of mainframe computers with dumb terminals. Modern clouds can contain both the operating systems and the programs used by companies and individuals, relieving them from the need for IT staff, storage space, and computing power. Modern replacements for dumb terminals are actually smart, thin clients like cell phones and smart pads. Xeden Cloud Concepts, a Denver-based technology company, is building and maintaining a groundbreaking global cloud with several unique attributes. The Xeden Cloud is built on a growing collection of relational applications that work through accounts called corners. Corner of the cloud accounts can have parent and sibling relationships. In addition, corners can have relationships with other corners. The result is a global cloud structure unlike any other. The heart of the Xeden Cloud is the first ever Digital Rights Exchange, or DRE. Every second, data, documents, and media flow through the internet and to and from the cloud, leaving a digital footprint. The Digital Rights Exchange is a means of mirroring that flow with rights information for licensing, copyright, tracking, and management. Copyrights, fair use rights, access, and other rights are brokered and tracked on the DRE. Digital Rights Exchange in the cloud. All of the cloud designs developed by Xeden Cloud Concepts have a digital rights exchange at their core. Some clouds may begin using the DRE to simply provide a database of users for that cloud. As the understanding of the DRE grows and the number of businesses and services also grow, the use of the DRE by a given cloud will likely evolve. The nature of the DRE account is such that Xeden will maintain these accounts along with their portfolios as long as requested. In order to provide the ultimate convenience to the account holder, Xeden will manage one account across several clouds, business uses, and applications. Permissions are defined and granted using the DRE. Xeden founders made the following prediction over a decade ago. In the coming years, everyone will be carrying around personal portable TiVo-like devices, and the sale of media will shift from the physical sale to just a sale of access rights by the copyright holders. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal stated that Disney believed a new reality in which consumers increasingly rely on computers and cell phones in place of DVD players and TVs could contribute to a shift in what it means for a consumer to own a movie or a TV show, by redefining ownership as access rights, not physical possession. Understanding that the presence of an entity that would facilitate the exchange of digital rights would be required in the emerging cloud computing era, Michael Short, father of the Xeden Cloud, began work on the world's first digital rights exchange. The Digital Rights Exchange, or DRE, design began with an accounting system that would provide the most secure accounts possible for use on private or public networks. With these accounts comes the ability to register any combination of physical and virtual entities that the account holder has legal control over. These entities include creative work efforts such as music, writings, images, intellectual properties that may be copywritten or patented, and personal properties such as destinations or even medical records. Every person, group, and organization has a collection of these entities. The proliferation of clouds is a natural place to store many of these assets. Perhaps the biggest problem in dealing with such entities in the cloud is managing the right to access any given individual asset or collection of assets legally and properly. The basic DRE account is provided with a variety of ways to grant access to the registered entities by the account holder or registrar. This is a very important aspect of the DRE. It forms the basis of everything from monetization of one's assets to HIPAA compliance. Through Xeden Cloud Services, the rules and permissions of asset access are made available to everyone, including other clouds. DRE accounts manage and maintain the records of all requests for and grants of access for the account holder's registered entities. These include copywritten materials, medical records, IP, private data, and even UCC registered entities. The basic DRE account provides one more important feature. As the E in DRE denotes an exchange, this account also provides a record of all the grants of access and use given the account holder from other exchange account holders to their registered entities. This account literally becomes a portfolio of all the grants complete with type and scope of grant, and even tracks the legal wording for fair use or other legal descriptions provided with an exchange. Background: a consumer perspective. Everyone has experienced purchasing media such as a record, cassette, CD, or DVD, only to have it wear out, break, or be stolen. It was not uncommon for a copy or two to be made of the item for backup or use in a portable device. Copies for these uses were deemed legal under the law due to fair use rights, which are granted to the purchaser by the copyright holder. The nature of fair use rights has had to change with the evolution of the media and is, more often than not, ignored or not understood by consumers. Think of the consumer that had purchased a vinyl record, later purchased that album on CD, and then purchased the same music as a digital download. What if that customer borrowed a friend's CD to make a copy of his damaged or lost item? Is that piracy? Do his earlier fair use rights still apply? What happens to these granted rights over time? What happens when the physical medium wears out or is replaced with a digital file? The answer is that although many granted rights could and should survive both time and technology, they simply have not until now. Background: a business and legal perspective. The proliferation of consumer devices capable of storing and presenting digital media connected to a growing internet has created significant problem for this new decade. With every collection of new product offerings come new file formats, compression styles, and attempts to prevent piracy, or at least hold market share. The definition of fair use rights continues to be a moving target. Keeping track of compulsory use rights and license features is non-existent. In fact, most consumers click the "I agree" button without ever reading the fine print. From the media originators through distribution and retail to the consumer, these problems continue to affect everyone. Some groups are calling for a single file format and standard for storage, transmission, and playback. With or without a format standard, a method of verification of the granted use rights is now a necessary tool of commerce. Although the facilitator of the sale of media, Amazon and iTunes, technically signals the activation of usage rights, they do not usually grant them. Digital usage rights are granted by the copyright holder. As a result of this, the definition of any rights grants are often left as ambiguous, and access to the same media in the future for replacement or as a new file format means another purchase. Attempts to limit access, including the various DRMs, locks and keys, have in some cases promoted rather than limited piracy by further complicating the consumer experience. Xeden founders have been at the forefront of cloud computing for several years in their respective positions. With specific expertise in areas of embedded control, media management, broadcasting, and copyright protection, these founders bring several unique but related cloud computing innovations. Xeden provides two basic categories of cloud concepts: custom designs for preferred clients and specialty designs intended for consumer use. The latter group are owned and maintained by Xeden as revenue streams and growth paths. The former are basically work for hire but maintained by Xeden for a fee. Cloud credits. In addition to the DRE, there are other components Xeden brings to its unique cloud concepts. The idea of a Xeden Cloud Credit, or XCC, developed hand in hand with the DRE. In order to facilitate large numbers of transactions, some costing less than 1 US cent, a new accounting system had to be developed. An accounting system was developed to accompany DRE accounts that understand the concepts of a standard cloud credit, or SCC, and a microcloud credit, or MCC. Important note: it should be understood that the DRE can be used without the need to ever participate in a point-of-sale monetary transaction. More specifically, the DRE can be used to register, record, and/or verify transactions without ever participating in the exchange of monies or digital assets, such as digital merchandise. This is an important distinction for attracting B2B use from existing clouds. Xeden Cloud Credits offer a way for account holders to purchase additional services from the cloud. Cloud credits are maintained with a direct value to real currency. Accounts can be credited with SCC or MCC through normal credit or debit cards. However, the cloud credit system includes a concept called the remuneration object, or RO. ROs can be used to credit DRE accounts. The most common RO is one of several advertisement models. DRE accounts, also called corners of the cloud, can be credited with cloud credits for acknowledging advertisements. To summarize, DRE accounts can be credited with cloud credits by directly purchasing them, receiving them as part of a transaction across the exchange, and by participating in any number of ROs. The cloud credit system continues to evolve and gain features as new clouds are developed. Media management. A good deal of the IP and initial cloud designs are based on broadcast technologies due to the background of several of the founders. It is no coincidence that a majority of digital assets managed by the clouds is digital media, and Xeden founders have a deep history in music, film, radio, and television. Xeden Cloud concepts begin with a DRE and XCC, and from there are structured to serve specific tasks and needs for their respective vertical markets. This is accomplished through a variety of cloud services available to add to the cloud design. The first family of cloud designs is influenced by methods of media production and broadcasting. All Xeden Cloud services can be deployed publicly, privately, and in combinations of both as required. Examples of media management cloud services include library management with conditional access, collection management, album creation and viewing, DRE interface, channel management, creation and viewing, storyboarding digital signage, live event staging interface and automation, broadcast master control, production style intercom, real-time device controls, commercial insertion. Media management clouds will be deployed both temporarily and permanently. They will be deployed in venues physically and on the internet virtually. Many of the custom cloud designs for specific vertical markets will require some subset of Xeden's media management cloud services. Xeden invites you to visit, get your free personal corner of the cloud that comes with basic relational applications that include a library, digital footprint, calendar, messaging, and connections.